Hey guys, welcome to another video. So I have you along with me on my walk today and I'm going to chat a little bit with you. So this is starting kind of like a new video series, and if you guys follow me on Instagram, you might have seen my post recently that I gained a little bit of weight during the whole COVID isolation period. So to be honest, I'm really not all that unhappy about this. I mean, I don't think I look terrible. I certainly don't feel terrible. I just know that the weight I was at was pretty much my fighting weight and where I feel my best, and that I think is going to promote my health long term. I don't want this channel to be only about weight loss. I see so many plant-based channels that are, and that's fine, but mine is more about like total health and wellness, and there are so many facets to that. What you eat and how you nourish your body is certainly part of that, but there are so many other things involved as well. And my friend had a really good idea to incorporate lifestyle tips into these videos, as well as like what I eat in a day or recipes or whatever. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about exercise and moving your body. You can certainly lose a considerable amount of weight just changing your diet, but there's no doubt that most of us feel a lot better when we move our bodies. Now, I'm a nurse and I care about people, so here's my disclaimer. If you have any health problems, you take medications, you have a lot of weight to lose, or you've never exercised before, use common sense and, get your physician's clearance before you undertake any kind of exercise program, just to be safe. If I can give you any advice about exercise, it's pick something that you like, because you're more likely to stick with it. And for me, that activity has primarily been walking. I love my walks, and I've been doing this for years. And usually, especially you've seen in my videos, I will usually be out in a very scenic place like this. But if I can't get to a park or something like that, I just go around my local streets and, get my walk in some way. But I really enjoy getting out, getting my fresh air, and being in a beautiful place, taking in nature and everything around me. It's the whole experience for me. The other activity I really enjoy doing is riding my bike. So it's a really low impact activity. Well, as long as you don't fall off. But yeah, it's just something that I enjoy doing, and it's a nice change up from walking all the time. The other thing I used to do that I'm getting back into again is weight training. So in addition to all the aerobic exercise, I like to also do resistance training to keep my muscles strong and stay flexible. And the other thing that I'm into is yoga, so that I can stay nice and flexible and just kind of de-stress and relax. So yeah, I think that doing some form of exercise can definitely bring us a better sense of well-being and help us manage stress. So find something that you like, because like I said, you're more likely to stick with it. Hello friends. All right, for the food parts of these videos, I decided I don't want to do what I eat in a day videos, because food is a very personal choice and everybody likes different things. I want to try to just give you ideas so that you can be creative and make meals that suit you and that you like. So today we're going to be doing some breakfast ideas. In another video we'll do something like snacks and then lunches and dinners, that kind of stuff. All right, for breakfast there are a few things that I typically go to. One of them is Old Faithful, and that is my oatmeal. There are 3 different kinds of oats that I buy. So one of them is the quick cooking rolled oats, which don't take very long at all to cook. And a lot of people say, oh, these are bad for you, they're way too processed. But they still have quite a bit of fiber in them. They don't take long to cook, and so especially when I'm working, I start very early in the morning. I get up to take a break to make my oatmeal. These are ready in a jiff. And I also keep them on hand because I often use them as a filler in my veggie burgers. The other kind of oats that I buy are just regular rolled oats. I don't have any of those on hand at the moment, but they have a little bit more of a chewy texture because they're less processed than the quick cooking oats. They take a little bit longer to cook, but I also enjoy those as well. And then the other kind I get are the steel cut oats, and these are the least processed out of the 3 that I buy. and they take the longest to cook, but I have to say that they are my favorite because I really like the texture of these. When it comes to what I put in my oatmeal, it depends on whether I'm wanting something more savory or sweet. If I'm doing savory, there is a recipe in the Esselstyn's cookbook for savory oats, and I thought it sounded a little weird when I first tried it because I was always used to eating sweetened oatmeal, but it has become my favorite oatmeal dish. And it has things like canned tomatoes and spinach in it, as well as a whole bunch of spices like nutritional yeast and smoked paprika and onion and garlic, and it's just delicious. So if I'm going savory, I usually make something like that. When I want sweet oats, I will typically add in a half or a whole ripe banana to it and kind of mash it in. Sometimes I will instead add some raisins, maybe some chopped dates. We produce a lot of maple syrup here in New York, so sometimes I will add a little maple syrup. And then for additional toppings, sometimes I'll add a little flaxseed meal or some chia seed. Almost always I'll put cinnamon in it. And today I'm going to add some chopped walnuts. Sometimes I do chopped almonds or pumpkin seeds. And today I'm going to use the flaxseed meal. So my oatmeal is never the same every single day. It depends on what's in season, what I have on hand, you know, what I'm in the mood for. I'm going to show you what I'm making this morning, but use whatever you like, whatever you have on hand, and, you know, add as many things as you want to, eat as much as you need to. These are just ideas for you, but let me show you what I am going to make this morning. So this was a half a cup of dry, quick cooking oats, and as you can see, it makes a lot of oatmeal. And then you saw what I put in it. I did add a little maple syrup today for sweetness, but very hearty meal for me. And peaches are in season right now, so I sliced up a white peach, which is delicious, and I'm gonna have that with this. And that is gonna fill me up and probably hold me over for several hours this morning. All right, keeping on the topic of oats, another thing that I will often eat for breakfast is muesli. And sometimes I make my own muesli mix, and other times I just buy it from the store. Keep in mind that muesli is going to be a little bit more calorie dense, especially if there are nuts and seeds and dried fruit in it, which there is in this one. But it's just kind of changes things up for me a little bit. And then sometimes I will just eat cold cereal. So I was able to make it to a Whole Foods recently and pick up some of these Rips Big Bowl cereals. They have rolled oats in them as well as some other whole grains, and this one's got freeze-dried fruit in it. To be honest, you can make something very similar to this, and I did a video on this a couple of years ago, which I will link in the description box down below. It's very easy to throw together and very customizable. You can put walnuts in it or whatever you like, and again, you can top it with, you know, berries or other fruit, anything that you want, really. All right, let's finish this video with one more thing that I like to eat for breakfast that is heavy on the starches, and that's either potatoes or sweet potatoes. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll just buy a bag of potatoes and steam them up in the Instant Pot. You can do this on the stovetop if you don't have an Instant Pot. I've got a couple of sweet potatoes in there as well. But the nice thing about it is once you have cooked potatoes like this, you can cut them up into fries or hash browns, you know, whatever you like. And then you can throw them in your oven or your air fryer and they crisp up beautifully. And then I make sure that I have frozen potatoes on hand. So this is just the potatoes O'Brien. And I always check to make sure that they don't have any oil in them. And then I often keep shredded hash browns on hand as well. I have a video on 6 ways that I cook hash browns, so I will link that in the description box down below. And then my dad has a video on his sweet potato like hash-like mixture that he makes for especially weekend breakfast, which is amazing. So it's like sweet potatoes and all kinds of vegetables. That I will also link in the description box down below for you guys. When it comes to putting toppings and stuff and other ingredients into these potatoes, sometimes I will use my homemade cheese sauce, and again, I will put a link to this video in the description box. My dad has his own cheese sauce recipe, and I've got mine They're both in the same video, so I'll put that link down below. For my hash browns, a lot of times I will cut up vegetables and toss that in with them, like spinach or onions, mushrooms, bell peppers. So chop those all up, mix them all together, and a lot of times I'll just cook it on my Cuisinart griddler or throw them in the oven or the air fryer, and it gets them nice and crispy. And I don't think I've talked about this yet in this video, but another thing that I will often do for breakfast, I don't do it all the time, but a lot of times I will have vegetables at breakfast. And I know that this sounds really strange to some of you. I know this was really strange to me when I first started doing this, because this is not how I ate for the first 40 years of my life. Unless I had a couple mushrooms and a couple pieces of broccoli stuffed into a 3-egg omelet with cheese, I was not having vegetables for breakfast. And then once I got involved in the plant-based community and started learning more about calorie density, including vegetables at breakfast is a good way to dilute the calorie density, especially if you're trying to lose weight. So yeah, it's something I had to get used to. This blend is just frozen cauliflower, broccoli, and carrots, and then I added some frozen spinach, and I steamed this up last night. So I'll cook up a bunch of this, and then I can have it for, you know, breakfast, lunch, whatever. All right, so this is what I'm having for breakfast today. So this is a steamed sweet potato with half of a banana on it and some cinnamon, my vegetable mixture, and I seasoned my vegetables with usually like garlic salt or salt and pepper, and today I'm using a locally made spice called Buck's, and it's basically salt, pepper, garlic, and other spices. It's made right here in upstate New York. It's been around for years, and it's great on everything. All right, guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you got some good ideas out of this, because that's my goal, is to give you ideas on how to get creative and make meals that suit you and your family, using ingredients that you like, that you can find, that you can afford, spice things up however you like, and make plant-based eating what you need it to be. All right, so thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.